This is your homework helper, Mrs. Anderson. Today I will help you with Lesson 1, Hands-on Part of a Number. Please have your homework page ready and let's begin. On this homework helper section, it shows us how we're going to do this new concept. So if we find 3/4 of 40 using a bar diagram, then first of all we look at the denominator of the fraction. And I'm going to make a bar diagram and divide it into 4 pieces. So here's my bar diagram, divided into 4 pieces. Then I take my whole number and divide by 4, divide by the numerator, and that gives me 40 divided by 4 equals 10. So each of these boxes will have a 10 inside, 10, 10, 10, and if I add those all up, it equals 40. Now I'm going to do 3/4 of 40, so I take 3 of the sections that have 10 in them, and I add those up. 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30. So 3/4 of 40 is 30. Okay, let's look at number 1. We're going to draw a bar diagram to find the product. So here's my bar diagram, and I'm going to do 2/3 of 36. The denominator tells me how many sections I need. I need 3 sections. And then I take the whole number and divide by the denominator. So 36 divided by 3 is 12. So I'll put 12 in each box. Then I look at the numerator of the fraction to tell me how many boxes I'm going to use. I'm going to use 2/3, so I'm going to take 2 of the boxes, and I have 12 plus 12, and I'll add those up. 12 plus 12 is 24, so that is my answer. So you'll do the same thing on this one. You'll draw your bar diagram. After you draw your bar diagram, you look at your denominator and make your spaces. Then you take your whole number and divide by your denominator, and you write that number in each of the boxes. After you write the number in, then you look at the numerator to see how many boxes to circle, and then you add these 3 numbers up. And that is your answer. Okay, let's look at the back. Hope used 1/3 of the flour in the container to make cookies. If the container holds 12 cups of flour, how many cups did Hope use? We're going to do 1/3 and multiply by 12. So I'll make a bar diagram. My denominator tells me how many spaces to put in my bar diagram. Then I take my whole number, and I take my whole number divided by 3, and whatever that number is goes in each space. Then I look at my numerator, and I can see I just need 1/3, so that will be 1 box. And the number that is in the box is my answer. That's how many cups of flour Hope uses. Elijah used 3/4 of the money of the memory on his cell phone memory card. If the memory card can hold 32 gigabytes, how many gigabytes did Elijah use? Well, I'm doing 3/4 times 32. So I'll make my bar diagram, and I look at my denominator to tell me how many spaces I need in my bar diagram. I need 4. Now I'll take my whole number and divide by the denominator. 32 divided by 4. And the answer to that problem, the number will go in each box. Then I look at the numerator, and I can see that my numerator is 3. So I take 3 sections of this whole, and I add those 3 together. And that will be my answer of how many gigabytes Elijah used. Okay, let's look at number 5. Jeremy used 5/6 of a loaf of bread throughout the week. If there were 24 slices of bread, how many slices did Jeremy use? We're going to do 5/6 multiplied by 24. Okay, I look at my denominator to see how many spaces I need in my bar diagram here. Then I take the whole number and divide the denominator. Whatever that number is goes in the boxes. Then I look at my numerator to see how many boxes I'm going to add all of these numbers up, and that will be my answer of how many slices Jeremy used during the week. Now you get to write a real-world problem that could represent the bar diagram below. So here, this bar diagram basically says 3/5 of 15, or 3/5 times 15. So you're going to write something like, Megan ate 3/5 of the pie from the party this week, and each day, oh, she did this for 15 days. How many pies did she eat over that time? Something like that. Okay, thanks for watching this homework helper video. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me at school tomorrow.